Shooting Breeze topic number 10 is Putin's brain. Let's see what this reveals. YouTube video. Putin's brain.
Everything is relative, and we in Russia, we could use postmodernity in order to explain to the West that if any truth is relative, so we have our special Russian truth that you need to accept as something that maybe is not your truth,
even if it's not true.
But if the truth is relative, that doesn't mean that the truth doesn't exist. That means that absolute truth, one for all, doesn't exist.
Let's take an example. If you watch Russian television today, you'd think that Russia and America were about to go to war.
Yes, but the same if we are examining, if we are reading American press, we have the same impression.
Not really. I've just come back from America. You don't really get that impression. Do you think this is genuinely the case?
No, I think that now the situation is in Syria, for example, United States continuing to be unipolar or continuing to consider itself as unipolar power. It says no more Assad. And Atlanticist powers of the Western Europe repeats after Washington. We doesn't want any more Assad. But Putin, other civilization says stop. Let have Assad. And after that, there is our nuclear and military power behind Assad. So, and that is serious. If you are boss, you could not let the other decide, if you really is a boss, decide what to do in your realm of responsibility. It is conflict. And Russia says, no, you are not boss. You are not anymore boss. That's very serious. It is. If we insist on multipolarity, and if behind us there is nuclear weapon and the iron will to defend, for example, in the little case of Assad, defend Assad. Assad is principally not because we have so much interest there. That is the question of who rules the world. That is the problem. So that's possible war. Only war could decide really who is the boss.
Do you think that's really a possibility?
If United States doesn't want to start a war, United States should recognize openly for all humanity, all mankind, that the United States is not anymore unique master. So let recognize that there will be no war. But we understand our position is that we are going to fight up to the end in order to show to everybody that United States is not any more unique master. It's very serious, because we are seriously going to show and to confirm that we are entering in a multipolar world. And the situation in Syria, on Ukraine, and anywhere else, that's only the case to prove that. We don't want that, but we understand that if we will be not ready to pay all the price for that, we could not gain.
So Ukraine and Syria are all about proving to America that they're not the boss.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That they are not unique boss.
Can I ask you a personal question? When you watch the news on Russian television, do you believe what you see?
Absolutely, because
really? You're an intelligent man. Surely you can't believe
because
some of the most outlandish things.
No, absolutely. Postmodernism teaches us to understand, or sociology. I'm sociologist as well. And what is total fact according to Durkheim? Total fact total fact. The founder of sociology, Emile Durkheim, affirmed that total fact, it is the fact the society believes in.
So if enough people believe it, it'll become true.
No, the truth is the question of belief. And postmodernity shows that every so-called truth is the matter of believing. So we believe in what we do, we believe in what we say, and that is the only way to define the truth. The truth is the matter of belief. And that is not only our position, because when I see Western media, I ask myself how the people could lie in such way. They lie about everything in the world. But after that, I say to myself, stop. That is not lie. It is their truth.
But wait,
they are completely convinced that they are true.
I work in the Western media. I'm a reporter. I go out on the ground. I report what I see. Nobody tells me from on high.
No.
The
There is no
editorial line
such
should
thing.
be.
The fact, it's on always interpretation. There is no such things as a fact. Wittgenstein has proven that. There is no fact. There's only interpretation. You see because you interpret this or so. Our manner of thinking of any man, of any culture, of any civilization, it deals only with interpretation. You cannot see nothing without interpretation. What you see, it's interpretation.
I see you can argue that philosophically, but
it is not.
If somebody flies an airplane and drops a bomb on a building in Aleppo, somebody's dropped that airplane. Somebody's dropped that bomb.
Who has fixed that? Whose airplane is it? What is the bomb? What is the quarter the bomb is falling on? What are the people? Yeah. And there begins our interpretation, because it is the war. It is very difficult to go in it to see and to prove. For you, any bomb falling is a Russian bomb. Any killed by Russian bomb should be an innocent civilian, and any harm that is done in the Aleppo or in the Syria is absolutely from the beginning. You have no idea that could be different, because you are real, normal Western man, Western reporter, Western journalist. It is your truth to see, to say, to presume, to be completely convinced the Russians are evil. So that their bomb.
That's where you're wrong. I spent many years studying Russian and learning to love Russia and all things Russian.
But nevertheless, that are our bombs that destroy innocent civilians everywhere.
I'm not saying they all are, but sometimes they are, right?
Never. Never. No. Not only American marionettes of ISIS and the other Jabhat al-Nusra bombs are killing innocent civilians.
Because those are the only ones that are
That's
killing
our interpretation, our vision.
But you can't really believe that. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't believe that that Russia is responsible for all the destruction. Neither do I believe it's responsible for none of the destruction. I mean, it's just not credible.
No, but when we see Western media, we see when, for example, someone is a little bit on the other, try to say that maybe not in any case the Russian bombers that destroy the civilians, so it is cut. So maybe personally there are people who are with broader sense of understanding reality. But if we take the Western media, we see that normal reportage, normal observation of what is going on in Syria is completely biased by these preconceived ideas.
And I understand that, and I recognize that. But isn't it true that Russian television has seen that there is implicit bias in how people look, where they are, and they've taken it and multiplied it.
We could speak on two levels.
Yeah.
If you affirm that the West says the truth and Russia says lie, I would respond, Russia says truth,
right.
that this truth is absolute truth, and the West says
okay,
lie.
so we're playing a chess game. If I say to you, Western journalists are often biased and mistaken, but they try to tell the truth, whereas Russian TV has gone through the other side.
And if you say that,
and they're not even trying to tell the truth.
If you say that Western TV is sometimes biased, sometimes not, I would say Russian TV is sometimes biased, sometimes not. If you say we are sometimes not biased, but you are always biased, I would say exactly you are sometimes biased, we are sometimes
we're always
not biased.
Exactly equal.
Absolutely, and that is multipolarity. Right. Nobody has monopoly on the truth. The truth is relative. I could accept that, but only if you accept that. If you say our truth is absolute, I would respond immediately. Our truth is absolute. I don't believe that, and you don't believe it. Or maybe you believe. If you believe that your truth is absolute, you are normal Western man. But normal
I
Western...
don't believe anyone's truth is absolute.
Okay, we could agree on that at least.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but if I'm to be honest, philosophy and philosophical arguments give me a headache. There's just something I haven't been able, even African philosophy. There's just something about it I haven't been able to embrace that subject very well. It gives me an absolute headache. Arguing what is truth and what is the absolute truth and all that type of stuff. It just gives me a headache. Real black gentleman, what say you to Putin's brain?
I'm still trying to figure out what I was hearing too, about. I mean, the context of people expressing truth and lies relative to what's going on in just media, in just expression. Look, like you say, hardcore philosophy. I've seen books. I've had them in my hand. I started to read them. It is all over the place. I don't really get into too much heavy philosophy. Heavy philosophy, I can't do it. So I'm gonna yield on this one.
Yeah, I could appreciate that. I do. I really can. Sister Tanzan, Putin's brain. What say you to that conversation? Is Tanzan there? Unmute your mic if you are. If not, let me go to Buana. Buana, Putin's brain.
Yes. So I get it. I get the brothers don't operate. There are some brothers who don't operate on a philosophical level. There are some brothers who just operate on a level of pure mathematics, pure science. There are some brothers who operate just on spirituality. I get that. But this particular gentleman and men like McNamara in the United States, these men have the air of very, very powerful men. In fact, the leaders of nations. And it's through their reasoning, they are deciding whether to blow up the planet. No, let me say blow up the planet, because I don't like to blow up the planet. But blow up, as we know it, modern civilizations, or decide not to. These are serious power games that's being played. And we need to understand the reasons why people come to the conclusions that they do. Now, this man in this particular incident, when he talks about truth, or whether who is going to be, the discussion is who is going to run this so-called global world. And we looking from a Pan-Africanist view, say, well, the white supremacists. But in their ideas, there's contrast and comparisons that's being levied across the board. And this particular gentleman saying that this whole idea of making unilateral decisions for the whole entire world, which America tries to do, he's saying no. We living in a multipolar world now. You ain't the boss of me no more. I'm the boss, and I'm the boss of my world. And the reason why I'm the boss is because I have the nuclear bomb back in me, the nuclear bomb. So you have a nuclear bomb, and I have a nuclear bomb. Yes, you could bomb me with your bomb and hydrogen bomb, whatever, but I could also bomb you as well. And we all die. And these guys have an argument of who could be the boss and what is truth, who determines what truth is. Because you push out into the Western media, yes, these are the enemies, these are the friends, these are the good people, these are the bad people. But this particular gentleman saying, no, 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 no. You don't have the right to determine that. And I feel like us as people, black people too, we should also take the narrative of you're not the boss. We have a say so in terms of what goes on in this planet, in this world. Now, we don't have a nuclear bomb behind us yet, but I think that we'll eventually get there. But needless to say, determining what truth is, determining what reality is, determining what right and wrong is, there shouldn't be one narrative that exists in the world. This is we was talking about confidence earlier. We have no confidence in self. You know, the Western world perceives this world to say, well, they are the most so-called dominant force in the world, and they get to determine what reality is. And because we are men, you know, black, whatever, we should also have a seat at the table in determining what is right and wrong, what reality is, and what is not reality, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, and what is bad. And I think that this discussion kind of gives light to that fact. So these things of philosophical arguments uh, play out in the real world because at the end of the day, whether we choose to exist as a human civilization, as a species, or someone presses a button and they say, "The hell with it all, we gonna all go to hell." These kinds of discussions is what's gonna be had prior to that act. You know what I mean? And I feel like we should have a say so as black men on this planet, black men and women on this planet. We should have a say so in these discussions as well because we always talk about power, we always talk about might makes right. We always talk about being dominant. We always talk about control. But these are the kinds of discussions that we really need to be very clear about. And I understand it has given some of us a headache, but I say bear the course. Put a little bit of time and energy into it because these are the kinds of power. We say we want power. This is the way you're going about it because they are determining what right and wrong is. They are determining what reality is. They say, well, the truth, this mind says the truth is relative. There's no such thing as no absolute truth. Where we would watch CNN and take the information that we hear and see and say, well, okay, it must be so because this mind says so. It don't go like that in other people's reality. So I think for us, people like us who are trying to forge a reality for ourselves, it's very incumbent on us to pay attention to these kinds of discussions when they are had in terms of power, in terms of control, in terms of dominance. I'll stop there.
No, I think that's a powerful response to that. It was kind of eye opening for me to think that, in truth, you would have these types of guys if you're leading a nation. You would have these types of guys, the Rasputins, the guys who know how to conjure up and perform, sleight of the hand tricks and all that kind of, like, you would want these kind of people, right, backing or telling you, supporting you in whatever ideology you're trying to push or idea or propaganda. And these guys who really study this shit and understand it's not a headache for them. These guys who just get it. I just don't get it, right? These guys get it, and to have those guys participating in your decisions, decisions for whole nations, whole groups of people. That's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing. So, yeah, I agree. Like, we have to get deeper into it. I tried to read Theophile Benga and stuff like that, but I gotta start to ground myself a little better in it. Because
Yes, sir. Because yes, Kokuk, because we are trying to get power. These men already have power.
Mm-hmm.
So the question becomes the how to's, the nuts and bolts of it. So I know we want to skip the class because it ain't something that it ain't entertaining. But I think that it's imperative on us to take the time to understand the dynamics of power before we get it, so we understand how to operate with it when we actually do get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did Tanzan ever come back? Tanzan might have fallen asleep.
No, I think I said about it one day, and I said everything, and not everything I said was everything. So I think that there has been something said, but it's not really enough. We still have that's the truth part of it, not the reconciliation of it. But I think that they're both necessary and they both go together.
All right, thank you for that, Tan. All right, that's the show tonight. You guys were great up on the panel tonight. Thank you, Tanzan, Bwana Hagaziki, Real Black Gentleman. Brother Bakari came through. Razuliism spent most of the night with us. Trigger Happy 262 actually made an appearance and hung out with us for a prompt. So good. It was a good night, and thanks to all of you who were in the chat. Real Black Gentleman, do you want to shout anything out this week? Okay, Real Black Gentleman. Are you there?
No, I have nothing to say.
All right. Bwana, you have anything to shout out this week?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Shout out to Brother Bakari again. I'm glad I get him on the record now. So we could hopefully we could do something on Friday at 7 and we could get that popping. For us, I'm trying to keep us honest in terms of actually actualizing the things that we talk about and discuss, as all men should do, and so we're going to back it up our words with actions, and we say that we're going to get this started, so we're going to get this started. And for the rest of the audience, support a black business for the week, spend some money at a black business if you can. I'll stop there. Y'all guys, good night. Have a great night, guys.
I appreciate you, Bwana. I'll see you soon. Tanzan, you have anything to shout out this week?
Well, I always shout out STB, even though we're on it. Yes, Haguziki. And I would say for everybody, yes, we definitely miss Gaston Map's contribution. I'm sure he would have had an interesting take on things. But I would say, there's a lot that we covered in the old programs. So, go take a chance and rehear those. But yeah, Tuesdays we should be back for the regular session, the African Mind one, the programming, and yeah, and to everybody on the KWAZ, promote everyone's Bakari, Brother Bakari, Brother Focused, yes, so. Yeah, it's been a great program, and it was good to speak with everyone. So thanks for that, and have a good one.
All right. You guys check out KWAZradio.com, KWAZradio.com. Check it out. Subscribe. The newsletter's coming later this year. So make sure you head over there. There's the merch store that's up. Go through, pick up some items, and help support the channel and the network. I'll be back next week, Saturday, and maybe you'll see me during the week. All right? Until then, though, you guys be good. I'll see you later. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us, on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.